How much money do I need to buy a home? This is a question we get asked all the time, and it's an important question that we're going to explain in this video. When you're buying a house, it's important to understand everything involved, including what the cost will be. And most people, when they think about buying a house, they think of it in terms of down payment. In other words, I'm buying a house for $300,000 and I'm putting 5% down, so I'm going to need $15,000. While this is true, what they often don't realize is that they also need to be aware of what the closing costs will be. Because when you're buying a house, you're definitely going to need those $15,000 we just mentioned, but you also need to have the closing costs related to buying that home. What we're going to do is give you a brief overview of what those costs will be. So, closing costs, which in the mortgage world are often referred to as settlement costs, are broken down into two sections: closing costs and prepaid items. Closing costs are considered to be the actual costs you incur when purchasing a home, and prepaid items are considered items that you pay in advance at closing, like homeowner's insurance. Your closing costs are generally going to be broken down into three sections: lender fees, title fees, and government fees. Lender fees include all the costs a lender will have to get your loan from start to finish. This section is also going to include costs the bank has for third-party reports, like an appraisal or a credit report. Title company fees include all the fees the title company is going to have in transferring the title of the property from the seller to you. It also includes the cost of title insurance, which insures you and the lender against the entire cost of the home. Lastly, government fees, which include the cost of recording your new mortgage with the county, as well as certain taxes associated with your new loan. The total cost in these three sections will be your closing costs, and as we mentioned earlier, part of the settlement costs required to buy a home. So now, moving on to prepaid items. What are they exactly? Prepaid items are going to be items that you pay at closing in advance. These items include annual homeowner's insurance, escrow reserves deposited with your lender, and prepaid mortgage interest. Unlike insurance for a car, which can be paid monthly, homeowner's insurance must be paid in full the day of closing. This policy will cover you from the day of your closing until the following year. Additionally, the bank will require you set up an escrow account for the future payment of your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes. So you're going to have to deposit reserves with them the day of your closing, and they will continue collecting the monthly amount necessary to pay your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes each year in full when they come due. Lastly, prepaid interest will cover the mortgage interest on your new loan from the day of your closing until the end of the month. So for instance, if you were to close on the last day of the month, you'll have 1 day's worth of mortgage interest to pay at closing. However, if you close on the 15th of the month, you'll have approximately 15 days worth of interest to cover the remaining days left in the month. When you consider the dollar amount of your closing costs and your prepaid items, they may differ depending on the price of the property you're purchasing, as well as the cost of insurance for that property. However, these costs can easily be between $7,000 to $12,000 on average for a purchase price between $150,000 to $350,000. So, going back to our original question, how much money do I need to buy a home? For a $300,000 home with a 5% down payment, you'll need $15,000 for your down payment and about $10,000 for your settlement costs, totaling $25,000. Please keep in mind that we're using general numbers for this video, and it's important you go over what your specific down payment and settlement costs will be for your scenario. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and please feel free to contact us with any questions you may have on how to best prepare for purchasing your home.